Today, let's explore the comforting message of Philippians chapter 4 verse 6, which says, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God." It's a powerful reminder that can help us find peace amidst the busyness and challenges of modern life. Here's how this message can resonate deeply with us today. The Apostle Paul wrote this letter to the Philippians while he was in prison, enduring hardship and separation from the people he loved. Despite his dire situation, he encourages his readers not to be anxious and to place their trust in God. When we consider Paul's circumstances, this advice holds even greater significance, showing us that his words weren't simply a theoretical comfort, but a powerful, lived experience of faith. Anxiety in our daily lives often comes from the pressures of work, family, or financial worries. For example, imagine you're managing a demanding job and also trying to support a family. There's a constant worry about balancing both worlds effectively, making sure everyone is happy and that all obligations are met. Paul's advice is simple yet profound: do not be anxious about anything. Instead of letting anxiety consume you, take a step back and focus on seeking God through prayer. When we bring our worries to God, we're reminded that we don't have to carry these burdens alone. This doesn't mean the challenges will disappear immediately, but we gain the strength to face them, knowing that God is by our side. Consider Sarah, a single mum working 2 jobs to make ends meet. She used to be anxious about everything, from paying bills to her child's school performance. One day, she decided to pray, releasing her worries to God. She felt a renewed strength, and though her circumstances didn't change overnight, her outlook did. She became less fearful, feeling God's presence guiding her every step. A significant part of this verse is, with thanksgiving. This aspect is essential for us today because it teaches us to cultivate gratitude even when life is challenging. Gratitude is not just about feeling good, it actually has the power to transform our mindset and reduce anxiety. Studies have shown that people who practice gratitude have lower stress levels and stronger mental health. Let's say you've lost your job, and the future seems uncertain. It's easy to fall into a spiral of worry. But when you pause and give thanks for the good things, like supportive friends, health, or family, you gain a different perspective. Gratitude doesn't minimize our problems, it shifts our focus from what's missing to what we already have. Imagine John, who recently faced a tough financial crisis. He began a habit of writing down 3 things he was grateful for each day. This small act changed his attitude. Even in tough times, he found reasons to smile, which helped him stay resilient. He became grateful for things he previously overlooked, like his ability to think creatively about solutions. Over time, John found new opportunities, and he credits his resilience to staying grateful. In Philippians chapter 4 verse 6, Paul emphasizes prayer and petition. Bringing our needs to God in prayer is not just about asking for help, it's about building a relationship. Prayer becomes a source of strength and a way to stay connected to God, which in turn gives us peace. Imagine you're facing a major life decision, like moving to a new city for a job or making a big financial investment. Anxiety naturally arises as we weigh the pros and cons. Instead of becoming overwhelmed, we can choose to pray, asking God for guidance and clarity. In these moments of prayer, we often find a sense of direction and peace. Maria was offered a promotion that required her to move across the country. She was nervous about leaving her family and friends behind. Instead of panicking, she took it to God in prayer. Over several days, she felt God's peace guiding her, and she ultimately found the courage to make the move, which led to a fulfilling new chapter in her life. Many of us feel anxious because we want control over every situation. Paul's message encourages us to release that control and trust God's plan. It can be difficult to let go, especially when life feels uncertain, but trusting in God frees us from carrying that burden ourselves. For instance, imagine you're worried about your child's future. It's natural to want the best for them, but overthinking every possibility only leads to more stress. Instead, bring these concerns to God, trusting that He will guide both you and your child. Releasing control doesn't mean you stop caring, it means you acknowledge that you can't foresee everything, and you trust God to handle what's beyond your reach. Mark was always worried about his teenage son, who struggled academically. After years of stress and arguments, he began praying for God's guidance. Mark started focusing on encouraging his son instead of controlling his path. Over time, he saw positive changes in their relationship and his son's attitude, realizing that letting go was the best thing he could do. In the verses that follow Philippians chapter 4 verse 6, Paul assures us of God's peace that transcends understanding. This peace isn't something we can create on our own, it comes from placing our faith in God. When we entrust our worries to Him, we experience a peace that defies logic, one that calms our hearts even in the storm. This peace doesn't mean that everything will go perfectly. Instead, it's the assurance that, regardless of the outcome, God's presence is constant. The more we lean into this truth, the less anxious we feel, knowing we're held by a love greater than our fears. Philippians chapter 4 verse 6 reminds us that life's anxieties can be managed through faith, gratitude, prayer, and trust in God. It's a timeless lesson that, when applied, brings calm in today's fast-paced world. Whether facing small worries or life-changing decisions, we're encouraged to release our anxieties, offer thanks, and build a deeper relationship with God. By doing so, we'll experience a peace that can only come from faith, something unshakable, regardless of our circumstances. If you're dealing with anxiety today, remember that this peace is available to you. Take a moment to pray, list things you're grateful for, and trust in God's plan. As you practice these steps, you'll find a new sense of calm that strengthens you to face any challenge with faith.